Oh yeah, that is exactly the look I'm going for. It took some effort to make this setup come together, but it was all worth it to get that factory fit, look, and performance that I wanted. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more fun videos about this car. We'll finish up our fixes and upgrades, we'll take it through the twisty mountain roads, we'll do some performance tests, and much more. Also, please visit me on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to hear from you over there. So with that said, thanks again, folks. We'll see you next time. In part 2, we focused on the exterior of our new AZ1 by giving it a thorough cleaning on the outside, under here, and under here too. After that, we took on a bunch of small detail jobs to improve the overall appearance, and finally, to give the car that factory fresh look, we bolted on a set of original AZ1 Mazda Speed wheels that we got from Japan. Now we begin our work on the AZ1's snug and sporty interior, followed by some necessary maintenance. Let's get to work. Compared to other cars I've owned and fixed up in the past, the AZ1's interior was clean and in excellent shape. This was refreshing, as the task of deep cleaning a dirty interior can leave one feeling a bit squeamish. So other than a good vacuum and wipe down, the interior just needed some attention in a few key areas. First up was the road flare. Japanese vehicles of this era were required by law to have an emergency road flare installed, and while it's a great original part that adds flare to an imported car's interior, there is one catch. They expire. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happens to an expired road flare, but I imagine it can't be great, and I really don't want to find out. I know they still burn pretty good, as you can see when I set off the expired one from my Nissan Figaro last year. So to keep that factory-appointed, Japanese market look, I chose the safer, more modern option of an LED road flare. Yes, you are looking at a genuine Amon Very signal lights. The one and only warning flare that you can car in. Thank you for this meaningful translation, Google. You did your best. So with that revelation, let's see what Google can tell us on the other side of the box. Why does the word Bruno keep popping up over here? Anyway, I get the gist of it. Don't take this thing in the bathtub with you. Got it. I picked this one up on eBay from a seller who was located in Japan. I was pleasantly surprised by the reasonable price, fast shipping, and it's actually a good product. eBay has earned quite the reputation when it comes to car parts over the years, but there's plenty of gems in there if you dig around enough. I think this would make a good addition to anyone's road trip toolkit. The LED light lasts for hours compared to about 5 minutes for a road flare. You don't have to light it, you just twist the base to turn it on. It's magnetic, so you can attach it to your car, and arguably the best feature of all, it won't catch your hair and or body parts on fire. It's made to be an exact replacement for traditional flares, so installing it is easy, you just snap it in place. Nice. Okay, let's change gears for a moment. If you're like me, and you probably are since you're here watching my goofball videos on my Goofball YouTube channel, I already know that you love optional goods. Well, back in 1992, the AZ1 was brimming with a stunning array of optional goods. You got your basic ornaments, you got your comfortable ornaments, you got your outer handling ornaments, and last but not least, your inner handling ornaments. All the ornaments, they're all here. My AZ1 has a variety of these options sprinkled throughout, but my favorite is the optional Momo steering wheel that this car came with. But this is a good news, bad news kind of deal. The bad news is that the steering wheel needs restored. While I may do that someday, in the meantime, I chose to pick up a new replacement Momo steering wheel from Summit Racing. This is the Momo Tuner, which I got in black leather and red stitching with anodized black spokes in a 320mm size. This size is 35mm smaller in diameter than the stock wheel, which is universally regarded to be a little too large for the cramped quarters of this car. This will make getting in and out much easier and will finally give me a place to put my right knee. Okay, the first step to installing our new wheel is removing the old one, so let's get to it. This particular Momo model from back in the day had this cool padded center section that housed the horn button and had this pretty convincing faux mounting ring look. So once you pop that off, you get to the real mount with its 6 Allen screws. Here's a comparison of the new and old wheel. You can see that the new version isn't so small that it will affect steering effort, but just smaller enough to make a nice improvement in look, feel, and legroom. Installing this wheel was a breeze, since this car always era uses an M10 knob. Thankfully, Subaru is weird too and uses this larger 12mm thread size. Oh yeah, that's so much better! It's amazing how much of a difference a good steering wheel and shifter can make in the look and feel of a car. It's an affordable upgrade that you can make to almost any vehicle. Well, except for this Ferrari. Yeah, there's no upgrade for this. This is peak steering wheel right here. Speaking of steering wheel and shift knob upgrades, maybe you demand a more luxurious feel with your steering, shifting, and e-braking experience. Well, have I got something for you. Boom! Look at this! I can't even imagine what this does to one's driving experience. Oh, and these are just a few of the available covers. Heck, you could do up your whole interior like this if you wanted to be completely encapsulated in wool. Wow. The look on these sheep's faces really says it all. Up next, to preserve all of the AZ1's rare rubber seals, I ordered up some of this Shin-Etsu grease from Honda, which is the best stuff you can use to preserve and restore your car's rubber seals and weather stripping. In addition to preserving your seals, it can reduce or eliminate wind noise and other rattles around doors, windows, and sunroofs. Application is pretty simple. You just clean your seals, spread the grease on, let it sit for a couple hours or so, and then wipe away the excess. Just know that a little goes a very long way. This tube should last a couple hundred years, I'd guess. In between caring for my seals, I found that this clean, it's time to reinstall our restored brake light. I have a PDF of the original factory service manual to guide me on this journey. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, I knew there was a trick to working on this thing. You just gotta get really high first. Done and done. So now that we're good and ready to get to work, delving deeper into the manual reveals this fun anthropomorphic globule. Let's break this thing down a bit. It's got human features, a face, arms, legs. It's clearly sentient. In fact, it appears to be communicating with the human auto technician. It even seems to have some rudimentary emotions. Happiness, sadness, confusion, straining. I honestly don't know if it has a formal name, but let's call it Orby. Yeah, that works. Okay, the first job on our list is an oil and filter change. To accomplish this task, I got the necessary tools, oil filter, and oil. For instructions, I used some pages